What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and I promised you all that I was going to read through the entire lawsuit that the Petito family just filed against Brian Laundrie's parents. And as promised, here I am. Now, this lawsuit is 6 pages long. I'm going to read through the entire thing, and I will react to certain portions of it along the way. But I have already reacted to some of the information that we got from this lawsuit, and those videos are already up on my channel. You can check those out, but without further ado, let's just get right into it. I have the documents pulled up right here. Complaint. Come now, Joseph Petito and Nicole Schmidt, by and through their undersigned counsel, and file the within complaint against the defendants, Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie, and in support thereof allege as follows. You know, it feels good. It feels good to hear Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie referred to as the defendants, because we should have seen them get charged with something. I don't care what anyone says. I just feel like they should have been held more accountable for this whole entire situation. So just hearing the word defendants before their name is kind of relieving to me, which is odd, you know, because I don't wish these type of things on anyone, but damn, if they didn't deserve what was coming to them. All right, now they make several points here. Let's go. The first one, number 1. This is an action for damages that exceed $30,000 exclusive of prejudgment, interest, cost, and attorney fees. Number 2, venue is proper in Sarasota County, Florida, because the defendants reside therein. Number 3, the court has jurisdiction over the within matter pursuant to FS 86011 FS 26012. Number 4, the plaintiff Joseph Petito is a resident of Vero Beach, Florida, and is the father of Gabby Petito, deceased. Number 5, plaintiff Nicole Schmidt is a resident of Blue Point, New York, and is the mother of Gabby Petito, deceased. Number 6, defendants. Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie are residents of Northport, Florida, and are the parents of Brian Laundrie, deceased. Number 7, Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito became engaged to marry on or about July 2nd, 2020. Number 8, on July 2nd, 2021, Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito left New York in a van owned by Gabby Petito to take a trip to the Western United States, which was expected to last for several months. Number 9, prior to that trip taken by Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, Joseph Petito and Nicole Schmidt and Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie had a cordial relationship. So before they took off for this trip, the Petitos and the Laundries, they talked to each other. They knew each other. Obviously, you know, the Laundrie son was about to get, or was engaged to get married to the Petito's daughter. And so they both had a relationship. So it's unnatural what actually winded up happening between these families and the lack of communication from the Laundries, because their relationship was cordial. Now, did they have the greatest relationship ever? I'm not sure. I think that's why they use the word cordial. Maybe they weren't like, you know, click tight, inseparable, you know, but they had a relationship nonetheless. Now, number 10, Gabby Petito had hopes of becoming a travel influencer, a van lifer, and document her cross-country travels on social media sites such as YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Number 11, during the course of the aforementioned trip, Gabby Petito called her family almost daily, including her parents, Joseph Petito and Nicole Schmidt, and her siblings. So unlike someone like me, like I'm known for falling off the map. You might not hear from me for a couple of days. I'm not the best at communicating. Like, I'm a really, like, stay to myself type of guy sometimes. Sometimes I just like my space, and I like to just disappear and do my own thing. So when you don't hear from someone like me for a couple of days, that's perfectly natural. And I need to get better at that, especially because of, I have this platform now and I'm on YouTube, and it all happened so suddenly. So I haven't gotten used to like keeping in touch with people as much and talking to people as much, because I'm a really to myself type of guy. But Gabby Petito was the opposite of that. She was very outgoing, and she was someone who kept in touch with her family very closely. Every day they would hear from Gabby. So naturally, when they stopped hearing from her, it was very odd. Even if you go a day or two without hearing from her, it's very odd. So, number 12. The last communication that Gabby Petito had with Joseph Petito was on August 21st, 2021. Number 13. The last communication that Nicole Smith had with Gabby Petito was on August 27th, 2021, which is the day of her death. Number 14. It is believed that on August 27th, 2021, Brian Laundrie murdered Gabby Petito. The cause of her death was blunt force injury to the head and neck with manual strangulation. And I've already reacted to this before, because we were told that there was manual strangulation. That's how Gabby died. And we were never told about this blunt force trauma to the head and neck. And I don't understand why they kept that from us for the longest, why we had to wait so long to find that out. And I think it just makes Brian Laundrie look so much worse. What he did was already horrific. But now that you know that he was like beating her and blunt force trauma to the neck, I don't even want to get into the gruesome details of that, because it pisses me off. It honestly puts me in a bad mood, because it enrages me that he could do something like that to her. Do something like that to someone that you're engaged to, that you're supposed to be traveling the country with. Like, oh, Lord. It's terrible. Number 15. Gabby Petito was 22 years of age at the time of her death. Number 16. After Brian Laundrie murdered Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie sent text messages back and forth between his cell phone and Gabby's cell phone in an effort to hide the fact that she was deceased. Now, we already knew about that information, but just to give you a quick view of my thoughts about that, I think that shows us that Brian Laundrie was never originally planning on taking himself out and doing what he did. Brian Laundrie was going to try to get away with this, and only when his back was against the wall did he make the decision to take himself out. He's not going to text back and forth and try to pretend like Gabby's alive if he's in the mind state of, actually remaining alive and not doing what he ultimately did to himself. Number 17. On August 27, 2021, it is believed that Brian Laundrie sent a text to Nicole Smith in which he referred to Gabby Petito's grandfather, Stan, by name. Gabby Petito never called her grandfather by his name. Now, this was one of the original details that we found out, really early on into this investigation. And it was one of the key details that made the Petitos really believe that something was wrong and really feel that something was wrong, because Gabby never called her grandfather by his name. And it was really just Brian Laundrie doing this, which is absolutely despicable. Number 18. It is believed that on or about August 28th, Brian Laundrie advised his parents, Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie, that he had murdered Gabby Petito. On that same date, Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie spoke with the attorney Steve Bertolino and sent him a retainer on September 2nd, 2021. Now, I already reacted to this tidbit of information about the fact that Brian Laundrie let his parents know that he killed Gabby Petito before he ever even traveled home. And if you want to know my thoughts about that, I have a whole video out about that. But just to give you a brief summary of how I feel, I didn't expect that. I thought that Brian Laundrie would have traveled home and then broke the news. And the fact that he must have told them over the phone, that is crazy to me, and I think that makes the Laundries look even worse. And I think that's, it proves that maybe we were lied to by Steve Bertolino as well, because supposedly he had no communication with Brian before Brian got back to Florida. So that's a story for another time, and I will cover that on the next video. So where are we at here? Number 19. On August 30th, 2021, Brian Laundrie sent a text message from Gabby's phone to Nicole Smith stating that there was no service in Yosemite Park in an effort to deceive Nicole Smith into believing that Gabby Petito was still alive. So even 3 days after Gabby's death, Brian Laundrie is still using her phone to send these text messages to people to try to fool them and stuff. So, like I just stated before, that shows you where Brian's mind state was. Brian wasn't planning on taking himself out. Brian was planning on trying to make a getaway, trying to, come up with different alibis, and you name it. Number 20. On September 1st, 2021, Brian Laundrie returned the home of his parents, Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie, driving Gabby Petito's van. What an idiot. 21. After this point in time, there was no contact between Joseph Petito and Nicole Smith on the one hand, and Christopher Laundrie and Roberta on the other. So by this time, by the time Brian Laundrie made it home, the Petitos were not in contact with the Laundries. They could not get in contact with the Laundries. From August 27th, this is number 22. From August 27th, 2021 until September 19th, 2021, when Gabby Petito's remains were found at the Spread Creek dispersed camping area in Wyoming, plaintiffs were extremely distraught and were attempting to locate Gabby Petito. 23. While Gabby Petito's family was suffering, the Laundrie family went on vacation to Fort DeSoto Park on September 6th to the 7th, 2021. So while they are suffering, while this family is looking for their daughter, the Laundries obviously went to this Fort DeSoto Park. I don't think it was what you would call a vacation. I think it was a planning trip where they were going to try to plan the getaway of Brian Laundrie, which ultimately did not, get to come to fruition. 24. In an effort to avoid any contact with Nicole Schmidt on or about September 10th, 2021, Roberta Laundrie blocked Nicole Schmidt on her cellular phone, such that neither phone calls nor texts could be delivered, and she blocked her on Facebook. Now, I've already reacted to this, a little bit about this. You could already go ahead and check out that video if you haven't already. That right there, I think is just absolutely disgusting. Before they even find Gabby's body, she's already blocked. She is already blocked. And that just lets you know that she already knew what happened to Gabby. That this family already knew what happened to Gabby well before before it ever came out. So it was not a secret to them. They wouldn't have blocked them. They wouldn't have blocked the Petitos if they thought that there was, if they didn't think that something was wrong. So I think that's a key indicator to show that the Laundries knew damn good and well what happened to Gabby. Number 25, on September 14th, 2021, with full knowledge that Gabby Petito had been murdered by their son, Christopher Laundrie, and Roberta Laundrie, through their lawyer, issued the following statement. It is our understanding that a search has been organized for Miss Petito in or near Grand Teton Park in Wyoming On behalf of the Laundrie family, it is our hope that the search for Miss Petito is successful and that Miss Petito is reunited with her family. On the 14th of September, they released that statement, knowing damn good and well what their son did. They were already in the process of trying to make a plan for their son to get out of the United States, possibly. They already had him a lawyer ready by the time he made it home. They were already told, supposedly, about what Brian did before Brian even made the trip home. Yet here they are on the 14th. Remember, Gabby Petito was killed on the 27th of August. Here they are on the 14th of September, releasing a statement as if there is still hope that Gabby Petito will be reunited with her family, still alive. That's despicable. That's straight up evil. Because they didn't have to release that statement. They didn't have to release a statement at all. They haven't said anything at all this entire time. But for them to release that statement knowing damn good and well she's dead, and to even give the parents the slightest bit of a hope that they would be reunited with their daughter and she would still be alive, it's just, any sympathy you have for them has to go out the window at that point. At least in my case, it does. Number 26. On September 16th, 2021, attorney Richard Stafford, on behalf of Gabby Petito's family, issued a letter to Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie as follows. We are writing this letter to ask you to help find our beautiful daughter. We understand you are going through a difficult time and your instinct is to protect your son, and your instinct to protect your son is strong. We ask you to put yourselves in our shoes. We haven't been able to sleep or eat we haven't been able to eat or sleep, and our lives are falling apart. We believe you know the location of where Brian left Gabby. We beg you to tell us. As a parent, how can you let us go through this pain and not help us? As a parent, how can you put Gabby's younger brothers and sisters through this? Gabby lived with you for over a year. She was going to be your daughter-in-law. How can you keep her location hidden? You were both at Jim and Nicole's house. You were both so happy that Brian and Gabby got engaged and were planning to spend their lives together. Please, if you or your family have any decency left, please tell us where Gabby is located. Tell us if we are even looking in the right place. All we want is Gabby to come home. Please make that happen. Even after everything that was going on, even after being blocked on social media, having their phone numbers blocked, you name it, all they tried to do was respectfully plead to the Laundries for them to just let them know where their daughter's body was. And they were already operating under the assumption that Gabby was dead because they knew it. They knew it in their heart, and they knew in their heart that the Laundries knew it as well because it was blatantly obvious by the way they were acting. And they begged and they pleaded, and the Laundries did nothing. The Laundries said nothing. Number 27. Despite the fact that Joseph Petito and Nicole Smith implored Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie to tell them if their daughter was alive and if she was not, where her remains were located, Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie refused to respond to either Joseph Petito or Nicole Smith or law enforcement. Number 28. Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie instructed that all contacts were to be made through their attorney, Stephen Bertolino, and issued no comment when asked about Gabby's well-being. So they made sure that no one could get in contact with them directly. That anyone that wanted to talk to them just had to speak directly with their lawyer, and they had no comment about Gabby's well-being. 29. While Joseph Petito and Nicole Smith were desperately searching for information concerning their daughter, Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie were keeping the whereabouts of Brian Laundrie a secret, and it is believed were making arrangements for him to leave the country. So we've all assumed that they were trying to help Brian leave the country. It was the first conclusion that I came to. I thought the entire time that Brian had already made it out of the country. But of course that wasn't the case. And I'm assuming that a lot of the things that I'm reading here, this is just the outline of the lawsuit. This doesn't include like the different information and evidence they have to back up these different points that they have been making in this lawsuit. So I would assume they have more information about this that we don't know yet. And I cannot wait to find that out. And when we do, of course, I'm going to bring it right here to you all. Number 30. Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie knew of the mental suffering and anguish of Joseph Petito and Nicole Smith and knew they could alleviate, at least in part, such mental suffering and anguish by disclosing what they knew about the well-being and the location of the remains of Gabby Petito. Yet, they repeatedly refused to do so. In doing so, Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie acted with malice or great indifference to the rights of Joseph Petito and Nicole Smith. 31. Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie exhibited extreme and outrageous conduct which constitutes behavior under the circumstances which goes beyond all possible bounds of decency and is regarded as shocking, atrocious, and utterly intolerable in a civilized community. Damn, they just ripped the Laundries a new asshole right there. And I feel that 100%. Number 32. As a direct and proximate result of the willfulness and maliciousness of Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie, Joseph Petito and Nicole Smith had been caused to suffer pain and suffering, mental anguish, inconvenience, loss of capacity for enjoyment of life experienced in the past and to be experienced in the future. Wherefore, plaintiffs Joseph Petito and Nicole Smith respectfully request this honorable court enter judgment in their favor and against the defendants, Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie, and award to them just compensation for the damages they have suffered, together with costs and such other relief as this honorable court deems just and appropriate. And that, my folks, is the lawsuit in its entirety. Like I said, there's going to be evidence, there's going to be new information here that we're going to get from this lawsuit that's going to back up a lot of these allegations that the Petitos have made, or else they wouldn't come forward with these allegations in the first place. So there's a lot of information to still come out of this. If it weren't for this lawsuit, you probably could have killed any hope in your mind of finding out any more about this investigation. But now the gates are opening. The floodgates are opening, and we're going to find out so much about this case that we never thought we were going to find out. We're going to have to see, the day is going to come where we're going to see the Laundries go to court. We're going to see the Laundries in court against the Petitos. And I can't wait for that to happen. Who knows what drama is going to unfold here. There's so much things from this lawsuit that I still have to unpack. And now there's the lawyers are going back and forth. Bertolino is back in the news. The lawyer for the Petitos made a statement as well. And I'm going to get to that in my next video. But for now, I want to know how you all feel about this lawsuit down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. And as always, find some time out of your day to go watch a movie.